Welcome back to the Cuzzy Sound channel. Throughout November 2024, Raw ran the Senspace exhibition at Forge Island in Rotherham. Now their website, there'll be a link down below, has a article on what that was all about. But just to give you an idea, Senspace is an exhibition where art and mindfulness meet to create a unique, restorative experience. In our busy world, mental well-being often takes a back seat, but Senspace offers a refreshing escape, a sanctuary where art, meditation and mental health come together to nourish both mind and soul. Each work in the exhibit invites you to immerse yourself in a sensory journey, discovering moments of calm, self-reflection and grounding. There's a little bit more on that. Just follow the link down in the description and you can read up more about, well, not just Senspace, but more about Raw themselves. Now, I had a couple of pieces in the exhibition. First one is called Talk to Me. The inspiration for the Talk to Me piece comes from the idea that we need to open up, not bottle up our emotions. We need to be able to talk about how we feel, what emotions are going on and what problems, issues. But also, it's important that if you're going to talk, that there is someone there to lend a listening ear. So I thought, right, I need to capture that in a way that works with an interactive piece within the remit of the Senspace exhibition. So I decided to use a concept I've used before, which is sound to light. And in fact, the circuit I used for this is this, oops, let me drop that, the same circuit that I used for my sound to light hat, which had flashing LEDs on the top responding to a microphone in the front of the hat. So that's kind of the basic principle for what I wanted to do. So the idea was to have this interactive piece so people could come up to this and they could talk, that's what it's about, but they would get a visual feedback that something, ideally someone, but in this case, something, my exhibit piece, is listening and responding to what they say. So I had an idea to put it in a box where you could press a button, talk to it, and the LEDs would flash in response to what you were saying. I had a hexagonal box already, and it's perfect for what I wanted to do. What I also had, you can see there's a dome on top there. I had one of these sensory stroke disco bulbs that you plug into an ordinary light fitting, like the one that's bouncing off my head here. And it has a ring of LEDs, and the dome bit is actually attached to a shaft on a motor, and it rotates and throws out shards of light. Now, unfortunately, it turns out that the unit itself was not UV stable, and it had been left on a windowsill. And when I picked it up, it crumbled. But me being who I am, I thought, I'm not going to throw away the electronics inside that. I'm going to take it apart and see what I can do. So although the rest of the plastic disintegrated, the dome itself is UV stable and didn't disintegrate. So I rescued the dome. Now, I didn't use the LEDs that were actually in the bulb thing itself. So what there is, there's there's 6 LEDs around the ring there, and then there's a push button switch which turns the thing on and off and makes it respond to speech. So there's 2 green LEDs and 4 red LEDs. Now, I said I used the same circuit as I used in the hat. So the circuit itself looks like this. It's simply a transistor circuit that is an amplifier for an electret microphone. So the electret microphone sends a signal into there, and it's boosted to a level that will drive LEDs. So that's a really, really simple circuit. As I say, it's the same as what was in the hat. So you can go look that up as well if you want. But there's a limit on the number of LEDs that such a simple circuit will actually power. You need to be shoving enough current through to power the LEDs. And although there's 6 LEDs in my dome, the circuit will actually only reliably drive 4 of them. So there's 4 red LEDs and 2 green LEDs. So what happens is when you put the power on, there's just direct power to the green LEDs to tell you that it's ready to listen. And when you speak into the microphone, more of which in a moment, you'll see what I do with that, the red LEDs will flash in response to the voice. So it's very, very simple. There's not a lot actually inside the box. So inside the box actually looks like this. So you can see we've got, well, obviously there's the battery holder there. It runs off a 9-volt battery. Then you've got the tiny little circuit, which is just simply a 2-transistor amplifier. And then the LEDs and a switch. Very, very simple. So my idea was that took care of speaking to it and getting light to flash in response to the voice, but we needed the listening ear. Now, I'm not great when it comes to visual art and painting and sculpture and things like that, but Rotherham Raw has a fantastic group of members who are skilled in a whole range of creative disciplines. So I put a message out saying, would anybody like to help me with this? I need an ear. And yeah, I got a response from Sandra Ward, who said, yeah, I can come along, I can build you an ear. So we got together and we had a discussion about the concept and everything else. And the idea was I would have like a curved card backdrop that said, talk to me, I'm listening. And then there would be an ear into which we could fit the microphone. There's the ear. A little larger than your average human ear, but in proportion to what the backdrop was. And originally I was going to put the microphone in the inner ear, but Sandra said, well, can't we do it like an earring? So it's now got a pierced earlobe, and the small electric microphone sits in there with a lead that disappears through the backdrop and into the box. So that when it's all put together, it actually looks like this. So you can see there's the backdrops on a pair of arms, and then you've got the box itself, and it's all mounted on a tripod. When somebody comes along and presses the button marked press to talk.
Hello, my name is Alan.
The green LEDs light up, and when they talk, the red LEDs flash. And depending on the light conditions, you can get some reflection off the white backdrop around the ear. So that was how I put it all together, with, like I say, the help from Sandra on creating the ear. But I also put a note below the box, as it's something, it's tripod there, people come up to it, so they understood what was going on. And the note it said, "Talk to me. Too often we hold our emotions in, bottling them up whilst presenting a calm, confident face to the world. We don't talk about how we really feel, afraid of being judged unfairly. This is not healthy. For our own well-being, we should find the courage to talk about how we feel. Equally important, we should be ready to listen to friends and family, encourage them to speak up about how they feel. Just being there for them, listening without judgment. And then the instructions were, in this piece you can see that the ear is listening as your words trigger a visual response. There is no judgment, just an ear eager to listen. I did go down to the exhibition on a few occasions and got to talk to people at the Talk to Me exhibit, and it was interesting to kind of get their take on that. There were quite a few that were a little bit hesitant and didn't quite really know what to do with it, so just say, oh, press the button, talk to it and see whether it's listening. When they did, and the lights flashed, they went, oh yeah, I get it now, yeah, it's great, that. So I think overall, yeah, the piece worked. It achieved what I wanted to achieve. I said that was the first piece. There is a second piece, but that's in the next video. So do check in again. Thank you for listening.